Hello, and welcome to Sports by Compian. I am Steven, joined here by Corey Compian as well. Look how handsome he is. This guy just rolls out of bed like a fucking
Hello,
champion.
that is me.
And we have
Here,
a
awake.
very, very special guest here with us today, Mr. Evan Anderson, former D2 or maybe D1 defensive tackle who really pays attention to these things when you're drinking. And I believe he said he played the D tackle. He is currently a Rockford Raven, one of our better rookies who people are very excited about. Evan, how the hell are you today, sir?
Um, I'm very special. I'm feeling special today, so it's a good day.
That's
It's a
true.
good
That's
day.
true. And just to clarify
Happy Sunday.
for the fans and the people, so you played D2 defensive tackle?
I mean, I got recruited to play D2,
Hell yeah.
and I was on the team.
Yeah.
Did I play?
Nah.
No. I mean, I was. I was on a team that made it to a bowl game. Okay.
No. Okay.
And
Come on, bro. That's fucking lit.
hold on. We just so happened to. I think we have a record in that bowl game. We lost like 95-28.
Whoa.
Like we lost by like 70 points
Real
in a
close
football game.
Well, you know what the ball
Yeah,
was,
if you-
Evan? They didn't play you.
Yeah, obviously.
I didn't even travel for the game, so it was a good choice.
Well, that's why. You weren't there to motivate the troops and,
True.
lead them to glory. Because even if you're not on the field, you're clearly a leader, and you just
Clearly.
guide people to victory.
Absolutely. Look,
So you not being there, that's why they fell apart.
No, I think it was because they had John Brown on their team, and he had like 400 yards of total offense
that could
in
also
like one
have
half
something
of
to do with
the
it.
game.
Corey,
So
do you
yeah,
know who
I
John
think
Brown
that's
is?
why.
I have no idea who John Brown is, but he sounds like a
let's break it down
stud.
for Corey and all
God.
the other casual NFL fans out there. So John Brown was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, same year
Arizona
as
Cardinals.
a very studly wide receiver class, I might add, headed up by your very own Mike Evans. But right, am I correct? That's like the 2014, 2013 class, right, Evan?
Yeah, that's about we lost in 2014, so I'm pretty sure he was in that draft class.
Stud of a receiver, had a great little career over there in Carolina. I mean, with the Cardinals, and he went over to a couple other teams. I think he's still even kicking around the league. Very, very good wide receiver. Doesn't surprise me that he destroyed Evans' poor little team.
Oh, it was bad.
No offense, man.
Well, it's because Evan wasn't there to, sack the quarterback before they could get the ball out.
I totally agree,
That's,
and that's 100%.
All I know, I turned on the stream for that game at halftime, and that's when they dropped like 50 points. So I think I might have been the reason that they got scored all those points on.
Nonsense.
They were doing all right before I started watching.
I mean, they had given up 40-something points, so I wouldn't say all right is exactly how I would describe it.
Well, yeah, but it was like 40-28 at that point. It wasn't that bad.
Fair enough. So they just
Oh,
stopped
jeez.
scoring in the second half. They're like, well, Evans watching,
Yeah.
we can't score now. No more scoring.
We can't do it now. We can't. If he
Or
would have
else,
ran a
man.
little bit harder in those spring practices, we would have been getting it.
Well, to do a quick little transition to rugby here, the D3 Daddies went 2-2 again yesterday, Corey. That is a total of 4.
D3 daddies?
That's correct. It is a combination of the Rockford Ravens and the Northwest Indiana Reapers, and sometimes
Yeah, bro.
other random D3 Daddies who come and go.
I'm here for it, bro. D3 daddies all day.
We're here for
Let's
it
get
tonight.
it.
But yeah, we are 4-4 overall the past 2 weekends. We have, struggled to beat the good teams, and but we beat the bad teams. So that's all you can ask. And we've had a lot of bullshit and nonsense kind of trip up 2 other games that we should have won. But yeah, D3 Daddies, Sevens Rugby, really fun times. Evans is going to come get involved in it next weekend, but he did want to see the boys off and sent us off with a cooler full of alcohol, so that was very nice of him on Saturday. Thanks, Evan.
Yeah. That was. I loved getting up at
clutch move.
6:30 in the morning to drop off a cooler. That was.
Who doesn't
It was
want to do
great.
that? Fucking team player right here. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me transition to a couple rugby highlights, boys. It's week 18 has wrapped up over there at the Rugby Net League. They're officially into their playoffs. Teams are already eliminated. We'll go into some of that in a minute here, but just to touch back base on week 18 rugby. Now, this was a huge game between the LA Guillotines and Seattle Seawolves. Do you know why this was such a big game, Evan?
No.
Because
I.
oh, sorry. Because the Austin Guillotines have officially been eliminated from Major League Rugby playoff contention, even though they are the number 1 team out there in the West, Corey. Do you know why? It turns out they may be paying their players too much money. Something like that.
Oh, shit.
So the way it was kind of explained to me by our
Yikes.
D3 coach yesterday while I was drinking. So once again, spotty information by Sports by Compian. Can't expect much from
Of course, can't have any facts. Only vague information.
Only vague information, rumors that we may or may not have heard. This is kind of how we roll over here. But anyway, yeah, so according to the word on the street, the owner wasn't exactly happy that these guys wanted to look into his books. They're like, so how much are you paying your players? What's all the deal here? He just was being uncooperative with them, being kind of an asshole to them. And they're like, you know what, dude? Fucking kick rocks. Your team's not eligible for the playoffs. How about that? You're a fucking dude.
Jeez.
He got so pissed, he apparently owes the LA Guillotines too. So I thought he had pulled both his teams. He's like, oh yeah, well, if you're going to fuck Austin, I'm pulling out LA too, who won the fucking championship last year. So it'd be kind of crazy. Plus, they're like the number 2 teams out there in the West. He's just going to pull both of them, apparently. But, I mean, I think that didn't happen because LA actually played later on and lost, which is this game right here, actually, which is Seattle Seawolves. So Seattle was in the 3rd place over there in the West. Now suddenly, oh, look at this. We got a shot to hop into the playoffs.
Tackle made by USFL.
But they got to get past the
Now the
mighty
Guillotines
LA
playing at a high
Guillotines
pace here.
Look at those
And
sweet
to clean
jerseys.
up, Goddard
Sweet
gets
jerseys
it
are
out.
dope.
Here's Meeks.
Look
I do like those.
I love
like the
baby
sir.
green.
Look at the sir on the hot pink.
Get it inside of the 5.
Boom, boom. Look
Inside
at this,
again.
look at this
That's
drive. Oh, but not quite
LA
enough. You see the
getting
ball
it
pop
down
out there, boys?
and
Hey, he was running on his knees for a little bit there. What was going on?
Green with the
So this is the
indication
thing
there.
when he's running on his knees is that, so let's back that up. The
And
reason he can do that is that no one
shy of
secured
the
the
5-meter
tackle.
line. They get it inside of the 5.
So it's not quite
Inside
down.
again. That's
Oh, I see. Well, yeah. Yeah, all right.
Anyway, guys, they're going to like a whole long review about this and whatnot, but basically what happened was, well, you see how the ball kind of bounced out there at the last second? Not okay.
Yeah.
They called that a knock-on into the try zone, and therefore a scrum for Seattle. So what would have been a nice try for LA turns into the ball for Seattle on the 5-yard line, which is why you need to hold on to the ball tightly before you touch that shit down, or you will fail your team and be a loser. So,
Is that a slight at me for dropping the ball the other week?
No.
Are you trying to make fun of me right now?
Evan, I literally had someone come strip a try out from me like a couple weeks ago, okay? It's not all about you.
I'm just...
I also will wide open after catching a pass and was just strolling into the end zone all by myself. Managed to fumble the ball into the sideline by myself.
nice.
So
Attaboy.
it was in practice.
But yeah,
But
alright.
you know, it did happen.
it did happen, huh? Dude, that happened.
Did happen.
Yesterday, I dropped a try. Like some dude, it was like a throw out to me. I mean, maybe I would have taken it in, but if I would have got out, we probably would have scored. Dropped that shit. So yeah, good times all around. Anyway, some more.
Being
from
a
this,
super tall, lanky guy.
good tackle turned in there.
No,
Smith,
it was just a
J.P.
pass out
Smith
to me
made
that
the
I dropped,
tackle.
I believe it. And then, so yeah.
30 minutes
look at the
going
way
into the
these
match.
guys are
Here's
taking
Tom
these
Mitchell.
lines. You know, they're over here just like
Dropped right
flying
away.
into there, but not fast enough.
Oh.
Seattle gonna get it.
He's going the other way.
Can
Is
they
my boy
take
gonna
this
catch
He's
it?
really busy. He really has to
he's
go
not
do
gonna
something
catch
over
it.
there. Please don't talk to him. He's got to go.
It's gone in the match.
Dude,
Here's
look how
Tom Mitchell.
beautiful this was. Look at him. Look at him here. He's like,
Oh,
"Ah,
he
I'm
jumped
off."
that. Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
He saw that coming
And he's
all the
such a-
way.
Can they take this one?
He's such a big boy too. It's not like he's fast. He just found the gap.
Dude, look at that. That's the difference with our league, Evan. Look at our league compared to this guy.
Long distance
Jesus
ball,
Christ.
and
That's
he
a fucking
dots it
beast.
down for 5.
Yeah, those
Yeah, I wouldn't
wings
want to
aren't
tackle
afraid
that
to go
guy.
up into a rush.
That's a big boy right there who used his striders to just fly out into open field and snatch it for an
On
interception.
the
It's pretty cool.
run, and
You
LA
know, look at
gets
this
it.
guy off the
They
kick, just
come
snatches
away
that
with it.
shit.
And it's James
Boom,
who
another
just
little
chips the match.
Still going.
Cyril Thama.
The way they're
I really-
From
so
James,
fast.
both guys fresh.
Yeah.
I really appreciate in rugby how like they're getting mugged and just hand off the ball. They're just like, I'm gonna die, carry on my legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a beautiful line, dude. Let's back this up a little bit. That was a beautiful line.
Got the ball from James. Both
So
guys.
they-
It's like, you go live better. He's like, I'm dying, Fred, go
Watch
score.
our boy 17. Watch our boy 17 right now. on
Inside
him.
play, beautiful ball.
Great
So he can hand off forward as long as it's like a handoff and not a
No,
throw
it
because he
wasn't-
didn't
that
receive that in front of him.
And it's
That wasn't
James
forward.
who
It was
just
a pass
checked into the
backwards.
match. Cyril Thama.
No, but like he handed it to him.
Both guys
He kinda
fresh.
waved.
So watch.
Trying to add to that energy
So
for
there's 17,
LA.
there's
Dave
60.
Dennis with a
16 gets the
carry.
ball first.
Got to the
And
back.
then boom, that was before,
Inside
you see it was
play,
before he
beautiful
crossed the line.
ball. And
It was before he got
Look forward to me, but maybe he just a really fast man, and I have bad
look
eyesight.
at this, Core. So I don't know if you can see, he's passing the ball right now, and look, 17 is still behind him.
Okay.
You can run into it.
It's
I
hard
mean, you
to see,
can.
but look at that. So that's what happened. Like
He's
now
he's ahead of him when he's receiving
now,
it.
Yeah, well now he's past him, but whenever the ball was
Okay.
loosed, he was behind him. And
Right. I got you.
That's all that matters. And then this guy jumped the
I'm
ball
with
and didn't make the tackle. So bad move for him.
I mean, he tackled a guy. He just tackled the wrong guy.
Either way, Seattle just kept on, dude. Like this game was wild because I feel like LA was moving the ball way better, but Seattle just kept on getting penalties and kept on making kicks. And even though this last highlight is of LA scoring, Seattle won this game. They just kicked the shit out of the ball. I think they had like 6 or 7 field goals. It was crazy. So that will teach you. You know, if you just keep on having penalties and can't stop field goals, bad things will happen to you, even if you're scoring tries.
What do you think the average weight of one of these guys are? Like, is their average build like a defensive end? Is it like a wide receiver? Like, what's their average build?
I'd say more like.
They're like what?
Go ahead, Evan.
I was gonna say more like a safety, maybe like a free safety or something like that.
I think that's a little light because if you look at the average forwards, I would say they're probably about 220 to 250 if the average pack.
Well,
and that is the majority of the players is pack players.
Dude, DBs are like 220, 210. Like, even those little DBs, they're fucking big boys.
That's true. That's true.
They might be like linebacker sized at best, but I'd say you're onto something with like with a free safety or a corner type thing because they got to be fast as fuck, but
yeah,
they definitely look stocky. I think they're just shorter. I think they're just shorter than NFL players overall.
Well,
they're like modern day NFL linebackers, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they're getting thinner,
exactly.
but, you know.
That's the ideal way, but I mean, not for your type 5. The type 5, you do want them to be like, you know, these stocky, really large dudes, because that's the dudes who have to like drive everything over. So that's where we have Evan Corey. We put him in our lock. He's a big boy. He can just drive the pile over.
Just truck people.
That's what we do.
I just fall forward.
You want to know something funny about Evan?
The mighty Evan is worth 5 people when he falls forward.
Corey, you want to know about Evan's very first rugby action, like outside of one tournament? But anyway, we put this guy in there, and dude just absolutely destroys this poor little college student who had come up to play some rugby with us. It was against the college team, so they were all college students. But he destroyed this poor little scrum half, and while this kid's like wallowing in pain and like trying to figure out where he is, Evan just gets up. Whoa! And then like gets into the next tackle, which he mauls another dude. So like he kills both these kids. They're both wallowing on the ground in pain. The referee's like blows it up. He like gives Evan a red card. He's like, settle down, sir. Cause dude, my man, like in the span of like 5 seconds, just ended 2 kids' careers. Like one of them broke his collarbone.
Oh shit!
Dude.
It was an accident. I just saw red.
In your defense, the collarbone is a breakaway bone. It's like the body's fail safe that like if too much pressure happens, the collarbone will break to prevent other things from getting fucked up. So it is a breakaway bone. So breaking your collarbone is that big of a deal.
Look, I'm just saying. I weigh like 280, 290 pounds, and that kid probably weighed like 160, and he ran at me. He ran straight at me. I don't know,
Evan, I've seen the way you tackled.
You did it
I'm sure he just got the ball and was like, oh my god!
No, he ran at me. He planted his foot in the ground and ran at me. I was like, okay. I mean,
you made your choice there. This is the choice you made. You will live with the consequences forevermore, sir.
Evan,
I felt real bad, though. I apologized a bunch of times afterwards.
The kid didn't even know where he was. He was like, who are you? Why do you keep yelling at me?
I'm your daddy now. I'm your daddy.
And we got Toronto versus the DC Old Glory. Oh, what a pick off. Dude, look at this guy.
Oh, man, it's so fast.
That dude is fucking fast. Over the line. Beautiful fucking play by this guy. I've always wanted to get a score like this. Don't you, Evan? Wouldn't this be awesome?
Oh, just a pick and then just run it back?
It's an interception.
I mean, probably not too far if it's at the run.
No. That dude ran half the field. I ain't trying to do that.
Like half the field. Plus, he had to, like, jump on the ball too. So like, that was a very hard effort. I'm not sure that's for me, but.
If I get a pick like that, I'm looking for somebody to dump it off to like right away. I was like, yeah, you finish it.
That was me yesterday, honestly.
Wanna...
I had to like haul down there for a play, which one of our players made a tackle. Amazing job. I'm standing there by the ruck, and like the other dude comes running in. Counter ruck. I'm like, no way. There's two guys there. So he realizes I'm ignoring him. And so he runs in there and does it himself and just plows through both those guys. So the ball comes flying out. And I'm like, hello, ball. I just pick it up and there's this fat dude. I'm like, I'm just going to run around you. And then this other dude came and like, Skip just describes it well. Sometimes when I juke, I don't even know what I'm doing. My feet just kind of do it. And I'm like, I guess I'll just go this way because it's what we're doing. And so that's what happened with the second juke. But I was dead because I'd already run down the field. And, like, now I have this, and I'd run like 20 yards, and I'm just like, no. So I, like, look behind me, I see one of my boys. I'm like, you take it, Seamus.
Take it.
Throw it to him. He throws it out to the next guy, easy try. It was quite lovely. But, yeah, it also was, like, a little alarm in my brain went off. Like, you don't have the gas for this, bud. Get rid of the ball.
That goes off in my brain walking up the stairs. You know I got the gas for this. Can't do it. What are you...
Did you guys
sit down now?
Nice little ball movement out to the sideline.
And got lucky they didn't knock it on. They had numbers on the far side of the field.
Oh, yeah.
And it's dotted down in the corner.
From the sideline.
27 minutes in, I think he's...
These dudes are...
He's been excellent, and his experience is... second to none.
And that's why
But these dudes are so fucking disciplined, man. Like, that ball threw past, like, 3 or 4 people that didn't snatch it. Like, they all could have snatched out of the air, and they waited for it to get to the, like, corner guy. Like, look.
And it's dotted down in the corner.
2 people could have had it. And they were like, no, I don't have an angle. I'm going to let Homeboy take it. And the Homeboy was like, I'm the last guy. I got to take it.
Pretty bad defense by Red
see Old Glory DC capitalizing on the defensive mistakes of the Arrows.
I think what's like the most impressive about like higher level rugby is how quickly they can dump the ball off after going into contact.
Yep.
Like that's the biggest thing, like especially in our league.
Offloads.
Yeah, we're not offloading too much, and these offloads are just like perfectly timed, right on the money. And I mean, I think.
Or we have dumb offloads. Like yesterday, we were doing some dumb offloads that were leading to easy tries for the other team. Because if you don't do that right, it's like right into the hands of the other team, you know?
Oh yeah, they're right up in your face.
Like, exactly.
You're getting like lit up, the wind probably just got knocked out of you, and you're like, let me find a friend that can carry on my legacy.
So anyway, Toronto...
That's why they need a...
Sorry, go ahead, Evan.
They need assist in rugby, man. They need an assist.
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely a stat in higher level rugby. Sure.
Takes it right on.
Oh, for real?
Kalapu.
Wait, how did my man just get back up? He's just like, I'm okay.
They didn't hold him down. It was a sloppy bad tackle, and then my boy just
again.
He's just like, no,
wow.
This is ridiculous. You guys.
I don't believe you.
But look at this. Look at the way the tackle.
To the forwards, Felix Kalapu.
Like, no, really, go down. No, really.
Kalapu.
Pretty lame.
Isn't held up.
I really don't want to be tackled. I gotta go. Stop it. No, it's fine. I'm gonna be okay.
So yeah, Toronto's doing weird shit like that. And honestly, everyone struggles to stop these teams from scoring a lot. They have an amazing offense.
Let's go, play up. DC.
Yeah, they look fast.
Well now.
And then, yeah, look at this. Look at this blue hair champ.
Jeez.
Did he kick it to him?
He kicked it to himself.
Oh, word.
From the capital of the Arrows. Look at this, just great
footwork. Over the top.
What a beautiful kick.
Has a bit of space.
Really well done. So look at this. First of all, he makes a great pass back to this guy.
DC counter-attacking well
now.
I love all the colorful hair, man. There's not like a single dude on that team that has their natural hair color. It's great.
Yeah,
that guy with black hair.
Which is why Taylor finally got a mullet to add some spice to our team. We're here for it. But anyway, good for
yeah, bro.
They got their ass kicked all throughout the day, as you can see by the 50-28 score at the end of the game.
Playoff races are going to be very, very strong games. It's going to be interesting to see if New England can bounce back.
Look at the big boy.
Oh,
taking it to the house.
Butterfingers.
Let's go, big
Butterfingers.
Oh, off he goes.
That's a feels bad, man.
Look how tired your man is. He's like, no. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
New England can bounce back.
I mean, he's 80 minutes in.
That
So that
feels
one was
bad,
just bad.
funny.
That one was just bad.
It's away, and it's blocked for 2 more points.
Yeah, they're showing him because they're like, bro, you butterfingers the shit out of that. He tipped it to him. In his hands, and his hands are right to him. That's butterfingers all day.
Hey, but good for your
That looked
boy.
like it was supposed to be a
Got a
skip.
try after his first try in the Major League Rugby. Good for him.
And the Arrows will be happy to...
The other one I want to show us is the NOLA Gold. Now, Evan, if you guys chance, you should watch some NOLA Gold offense. You see this team right here, the yellow and purple guys? I mean black?
Mm-hmm.
It will be the offense of the Rockford Ravens come the fall, especially.
God, see, way to
tighter.
give away the strategy.
Holy fuck, I struggled with that too. But yes, you should all watch the film on the NOLA Gold.
Takes a look.
This is going to be the Ravens.
Now they're going to spin it out wide. Dangerous play. They get away with it. They got a chance to go.
Hopefully
So we're not going to try to get out to the wings anymore?
Well, what's going to happen
It's
is
taken in and dotted down. They put it away. And NOLA Gold is back on top here on the road. 17-12. Devin Short puts it away.
Short
Yeah.
Big moment. Is this dude's first try? What's going on here?
Space still has to beat one defender, but pretty
pretty
easy for him to convert.
Like the whole, but like everyone else just looks really tired after they score. That guy, like everyone on the team came up.
5-point lead in that
nice
one is
kick.
right down Peachtree Street.
Rugby Atlanta is like one of the
They'll
best
look to get
down there in the East,
that driving
so
maul
if
set
Nola-
up.
if Nola
They
could've
get up
pulled this
high and
off,
get
or
it.
maybe will. Who knows?
There's a maul.
Ooh.
It's one of those things that, like, it's a big
Trying to
team.
Look at this maul here.
Dude, this maul, Atlanta
To
did
the
this
line,
3
gotta get it
times.
down, though,
This was
on the
3
ground.
tries like this. Just mauling the fuck out of him.
And
See
there's the
how
arm in
that
the
was
air
for
and the
number 2?
whistle.
He didn't have to
Trying
do
to keep it
anything,
down.
dude. His
Peachtree
Well, look how
Street.
quick they can get up and get out or get down in that lineout.
Driving maul set
Look
up.
at this shit. Yeah,
They
you're
get
right.
up
They're
high
all
and
there.
get
They're
it.
all ready for him already.
There's a maul.
He's just like perfectly
Trying to
done.
keep it together here.
Just mauled the fuck out of
To
it.
the
Had no
line,
chance
got to get
in
it down though
Yeah,
on the
Atlanta had 3
ground.
of these. 3 different mauls that just ran them over like that and scored with.
That driving maul set up. They get up high. and
Dude,
get it.
this is like the most romantic sport ever. They're all like, let's just find each other, hug it out, and just push these guys into the dirt. It's gonna be great. They're the worst. We're all bros. And then it just works. Like,
Coleman a fake.
that's the most romantic shit I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Did
And
you
this
see that
one is
pass?
gonna be put down.
Look at this shit,
But
dude.
calmly
Look at
gets
this,
in there and plays it.
So,
He's gonna get it right back here to Coleman. Coleman a
the,
fake out wide. Good ball right into the hands there.
Man.
And this one is
You see, did he hit it behind the back pass to start?
beautiful finish there
Yeah.
from White to Kia.
Yeah,
He
that's
scored
good
it
too.
there and plays it. He's gonna get it right back here.
My man just outran 3 people.
Great ball movement, and then, yeah,
Look at that. 3 people are like, nah, not gonna get that.
And a beautiful
Pretty
finish
cool, man,
there
you know,
from White to
it was
Kia.
good- it was good
He
effort by
scored a
Nola Gold.
dazzling
They
try
were in it
last
in the
week.
first half.
This
The second
one,
half
the
really
speed
came apart
puts
with
it
them.
away,
They showed that they
and
were the
that
better
will
team.
put
They
this
just
match away at
absolutely mauled them.
43-19.
Tries,
So
like I
Dominic,
said.
you can see
So, big
that
days
they
for
actually
Atlanta
keep
going
the
into
ball
the,
in there for as long as they
playoffs.
can because
So this game I actually watched because it was New York and New England. So the Free Jackets were actually number 1 out there in the East. So it was kind of surprising.
Possession back, and each time
Their
they've come
battle here with
close,
they're
New
having
York has
with New
repelled
York.
them away
This is
on
in New
good
England as well.
defense.
Yeah, fantastic start to this game from New York.
Let's go.
New England 38-29 last
Yeah.
time.
Hey, man, can we get jerseys like the Sirs?
Both those games
No.
were JFK Stadium in
I
Hoboken,
don't want to
home field for Rugby New York. Johnston
Hot
flicks
pink,
it
bro.
away.
Breast cancer awareness
Van
legit.
der Bank, Van der Bank. Has been
Oh, I thought he was gonna run through that tackle. I got so excited.
You can just see that good ball movement by the Free Jackets. You know,
They're down by 14.
they're really dangerous in space. These guys.
Quick hands to the Dutch Giants.
What
Stand down and
happened-
I like how even though that dude caught it, he's like, nah, bro, you take this. I'm not gonna do anything with it.
Balakana's on the
Oh,
end
cool.
of this one.
Nice
And
little
New
kick to
England
the
get
boy.
their
Did he
first
throw
goal
up the
style.
east side? That's fucked up.
Paula Balakana, much to the delight
I like
of the
this. You
reserves.
see how they're like bullying him in there with the celebration just to be assholes.
Beautiful kick there, close.
It's such a common thing. I've actually
Poor
seen that a
guy.
lot in
High
rugby.
school goes
It's pretty
downfield.
funny.
You get in here and celebrate with my team.
Exactly. He's like all pissed off. He's like, fuck off, guys.
Joe
But
Johnston
yeah, the Free
always gets
Jackets
him
have
on
a
the
hard
front
time on
foot.
defense
Does the
stopping New
mechanic.
York, but New York got
Tiger is in the way, so
down on
advantage
the
here
side
for Bodine
there,
Walker.
and
He goes back inside again, a little
ultimately,
space here.
This game
Forward.
was 21-14
Dougie Fife,
going into
the
halftime.
Scotsman.
And New York
Dummy
just
from the
played
Vampire Young.
superb defense in the second half.
Put in
And
a
led
coffin
to absolutely
Geiger.
no more tries.
Still to the
That was
left
it.
comes Walker.
You
And
can
Van
see
der
the
Beek
way
for
the
the free
Jack
jack.
is a
Space
great
here for
mistake.
Wayne Van der
Number
Beek is
12 is a
electric
beast.
to watch.
This team
Van
has
der
had
Beek
so
is
many
skid
tries
3.
throughout the year.
Flicks it over the top on the
He's a
outside.
real
Terrell
intricate
Pater
part of
is
that
in.
Free Jacket offense.
And the
But
New
man,
England Free
they could not
Jacks
get past New York today.
can play some
New York showed
fantastic
up,
rugby
played
and
some
win.
amazing defense, and credit to them.
Let's go.
They were able to pull out a win over there in New York and New England, put themselves in a great position to have a good playoff run. The playoffs are apparently only going to include like 3 teams from each team conference, I think. So we kind of should go over that in a second, but I don't want to go over that.
Did New York
real
make the
quick.
playoffs?
Yes, yeah, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So let's have a
So,
look
Evan,
at
I've
the
declared
real quick.
myself a New York fan just because I'm probably going to move there in like a year. So I'm just adopting all the New York teams out of all the spring football leagues and all the rugby and stuff.
So
Can't
a
condone
really cool
that.
game
I
happened
can't condone
yesterday.
it.
Sorry, what'd you say, Evan?
Oh, I said I don't condone that. No Jets, no Giants.
I don't like the Jets or Giants. I'm a Cowboys
Okay.
fan, but for all the new
okay.
teams, I'm adopting New York teams.
Okay, that's acceptable then. I approve.
Man, let's go. Someone not hating on the Cowboys is the first time ever.
Amazing.
Hey.
Good for you, Evan.
Hey, I'm a Bears fan. What can I complain about? Good Lord.
Fair enough.
Yeah, bro. I'm a live and let live kind of guy. Like, I feel like the Cowboys are the most polarizing team, and the fact that you either hate them or love them, you're the first person I've ever met that has no opinion on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan that loves Aaron Rodgers though, so maybe I'm weird.
That's a little narcissistic. That's kind of like, this guy beats me twice a year, but I like it.
Yeah, but I just like the pain, I guess. Maybe I'm just a
I
glutton
just love
for
the
it.
hurt. Feels so good. You hurt me so good, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, please break another record on us, please.
You know what?
Oh, do it, yeah.
Yeah, break that record. Do it. So listen, I think today is actually a great time to bring in a non-sponsor sponsor, which is Trident today. Trident provides excellent gum that is usually sugar-free. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it is. They have all kinds of cool flavors. This one right here is tropical fruit. I keep these in my card for A, cotton mouth, and B, good breath. So you also could be a Trident person by going out and buying Trident and then instilling it into your face. Isn't that nice, Corey, for them to be our non-sponsor sponsor?
Great job, Trident, but still, you fucking suck. Tic Tacs are better.
Well, I mean, we don't have
So,
to
as-
like that.
As someone who lives in a very hot country, gum will not last long enough for me to get through the whole packet with it being fresh, whereas Tic Tacs do not melt. Therefore, I do Tic Tacs because they can live in my car for months. Even if I go to the States, I come back and they are fresh and delicious.
Wow.
I used to
Tic Tac.
live across from the gum factory, so I gotta stay with Trident. I'm gonna have
you
to stick with Trident.
You didn't have to shit on Trident just to prop up TikTok.
No, Trident's lit. I'm just saying their structural integrity will not last a trip to the States and back.
Fair enough.
But don't you like a mushy piece of gum sometimes? You ever?
Yeah,
No?
it's like
Not
hard,
me.
it's like hard to get out of the wrapper, and like you get a little bit of paper.
Yeah.
Gum, come on.
Not me. It's probably because of my laziness. I would just like shotgun the whole thing with the paper. I was like, well, paper never hurt anybody, and then that maybe takes away from the effect of the gum
Yeah.
because you just have paper in there now.
Put a little fiber in your diet.
A little fiber, bro. A little fiber
fiber.
never hurt anybody,
Never.
Yeah.
Nobody. Guys,
except for all the people it hurt. But
So anyway, as far as this Major League Rugby goes, Eastern Eliminator is pretty crazy. New York, I wasn't able to get these highlights to really be able to give too much commentary about this, but New York beat Atlanta. So I think they're moving on to the next stage of the playoffs. I think they're going to play, I want to be able to pull up like who and where, but so here we go. So Western Eliminators coming up is going to be Seattle versus San Diego Legion because, as I mentioned, the LA Guillotines just decided they're out. They're just like, nah, fuck you guys, we're out of here. So yeah, they're out of this, and now San Diego has gotten into it too. So now the winner of that is going to play against the Houston SaberCats, who also have gotten
so,
super
quick
lucky in this
question:
whole thing.
Does that does that mean they're gone forevers, or they're just gone for this season? They'll be back next season under new management. Like, how does that work?
They'll probably be back next season for sure. It's just going to be, I don't know. I don't actually know how that will develop. It's such a young league, and this is kind of interesting. Where like an owner's just like, go fuck yourselves, and like he pissed them off enough to just pull his 2 teams, and they happen to be like 2 of the very best teams in the whole league anyway. So pretty wild developments. Can't be great for rugby, I gotta imagine. So anyway, Houston's waiting for the winner of the Seattle Seawolves and San Diego Legion. The Free Jackets will take on New York, which is pretty cool. Well, that's that game. As we saw, they just played. They had a really tight game, and now there'll be a rematch here to see who moves on to the rugby final. But the final will be on the 25th. You boys excited?
Can't contain myself.
Within this month, we will know
pumped, bro.
who is the rugby champion.
What day is that happening? January 25th.
Correct.
So that is
January
Saturday.
25th?
No, it's
I'm sorry, June.
June 25th.
Oh,
June 25th. My bad.
Saturday
Yeah.
is the next one. I
might actually try to watch that, and then I'll have like commentary to give on it, Steven.
Yeah,
commentary.
Yeah, I bet it'll be on the major.
these are on FS.
They're all on the Rugby Network for free. You can you can just Google the Rugby Network and make yourself an account for absolutely free, and you can watch all the games going on, all the past games, all the highlights. It's pretty cool. They got all kinds of content on there. Anyway,
cool.
So moving on to the USFL. Evan was also doing some research on this. Evan, what is your prognostics on these teams out here? Do you think we'll see a year 2, a year 3 of this league? Have you liked the football you've seen so far? What do you think?
I think the hardest thing for the USFL, and you can see it like in the NFL, the hardest thing it seems for a team to find is an offensive line. It's so hard for a team to put together a good offensive line. Not so difficult to put together a defensive line. You can put some athletes out there and you can get a pass rush or something against a not very good offensive line. But that kind of bothers me a little bit because I think it kind of hinders the offenses. You don't get to see as much spectacular plays by the skill guys because of how bad their offensive lines have been. They haven't had a lot of time to work together. They haven't had a lot of time to put in schemes. And plus, like I said, in the NFL, they're trying to find the best offensive linemen. So if you're not good enough to make a practice squad or something there, then you'll have an opportunity in a league like this. But just the lack of good offensive linemen, I think, is kind of hurting the league.
So, but why is that? Because I've always been curious about this too. I mean, there's shitloads of college players. There's shitloads of like these offensive linemen being developed. Obviously, you got to be a fucking animal and still be able to move. It is a really hard position. You're going against arguably some of the better athletes on the whole entire field who are both strong and fast, and you got to be able to block this dude. Not an easy position by any means, but I do find that very strange how few college offensive linemen seem to be able to make the jump to the NFL. And then even as you mentioned, in all these leagues descending from there, you could definitely tie back bad offense being pretty much if the quarterback has no fucking time. He gets the ball and he's being fucking hit by 2 different guys. That could be the Costa Rica League, any semi-pro league I've played in. Especially with this league, it would explain all the sacks. We've seen a shitload of sacks since we've been covering this league, and that makes some sense now. But what do you think is that?
I mean, how many offensive linemen in the NFL do you know?
A handful. You're right. I mean,
they're a thankless job.
Lane Johnson, Whitworth just retired. I mean, I know all the Buccaneers offensive linemen, and with Cincinnati, but yeah, I mean, not too many offensive linemen for sure.
I mean, you just don't get a lot of people that want to play offensive line and put time into that craft. Like, defensive line is way more fun than offensive line. I mean, I got recruited to play defensive line going into college, and then I got quickly moved to an offensive lineman, and it wasn't as fun, and it's harder. It's a hard position because you're more kind of waiting at times, especially on, when you're pass blocking, you're kind of waiting and seeing what the defensive guy does, and it's hard. It's a little bit of a guessing game. You got to put a lot of time into film. You got to put a lot of time into your craft. I mean, I think it's one of the hardest positions. If you're a left tackle going against Myles Garrett or somebody like that, I mean, you're gonna have a tough time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I've played tight end, and it's definitely it sucks because what's crazy about tight end is like you're the smallest lineman, but you're still going to go up against like their best defensive lineman because they would usually the good teams they would have their better defensive linemen go to whatever side or their better DN would go to whatever side the tight end was on because they're like, well, this guy might go out for a pass, he might not be as good as the regular fucking tackle. Like, let me just go where, the fighting is softest that I can get a sack. And, that sucks. As the tight end, you have to go up against the best guy whenever you're mostly practicing routes in practice.
Yeah, but a good offense will also have that tackle, help you with that defensive end, especially if they know he's a threat.
Yeah, I mean, and also, you're
never had out.
Well,
these teams don't have a lot of time to game plan either. They haven't had a lot of time together. Like, their offensive line probably isn't as familiar with one another, It's
right.
It's just it's difficult, you get very little praise for, making blocks throughout the game, but as soon as you let up a sack or something, you're getting screamed at. I mean, you could have like an amazing rating, you can get graded out at like a 90 something and still like for some people think that you had a bad game because you let up like 2 sacks or something, But you could get graded out pretty high.
Is like I get that. Like everyone does love the glory of playing football. It's one of the reasons a lot of people do it. But if you're being smart, look at what these guys are making when they do get to the NFL. When you are really good. Like Armstead was like 31, and he just signed a deal with Miami for like what is it, like $70 million or something? A lot of it guaranteed. Like that's a crazy contract for that old of a guy to be signing. Whitworth was playing until he was like 37 or something, and no, he was in his 40s. He was in his 40s, and the dude, like he was a multi-millionaire at that point. So it's like everything you're saying is absolutely correct. But I mean, if you're a smart young player right now and you're fucking big and you kind of have a chance to play either side, hell, man, you probably should stick with O-line because, like you said, the competition isn't as good, so you might have a better chance of making it. And fuck, dude, they get paid well nowadays. Offensive line gets paid almost as well as any position in the NFL right now. Well, I mean, besides quarterbacks in their own little stupid class, but
yeah, I mean, it takes a toll on your body too. I mean,
100%.
It's
all football does.
But I mean, these dudes are walking around. I mean, it's offensive and defensive linemen. It's always funny to see like how much weight they lose after they retire.
Right.
Like Joe Thomas is shredded like right now, but he was like walking around in the 300-pound club for years.
Yeah, no, and like a credit to Ali Marpet, one of the Buccaneers guards retired last year just because of the concussion problems. I mean, he's like 28, my age. He's like super young. Retired. And dude already looks ripped. It's funny.
Dude was a stud. Yeah. Dude was an absolute stud fan, too.
Man. It was a bummer to see him go, but I'm also happy for him. It's hard to argue with being a Super Bowl champion, already feeling like you accomplished what you wanted to do, and getting away with your good health. He came from D3. Great story.
Oh yeah. I recall. You know what? There's like a decent amount of good offensive linemen that pop out of D3.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Alex Cappa,
there's been
the Buccaneers love drafting these like super D2, D3 guys and like developing them. Apparently, it's a good cut. It's a good time.
Yeah, they do a good job down there.
So, hot take: do you think that the linemen, since they're a little bit heavier, a little more, more to moving around, if they don't make the NFL, they kind of just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go do whatever else because cardio always sucked and like staying in shape always kind of sucked. Whereas receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, for them, since they're a little lighter, they're already more athletic build. Usually, it's easier for them to just stay in shape. So when they do get recruited, maybe like 5 years out of college to go join these spring leagues, they're already in shape. Whereas these linemen, they're like, oh yeah, I was good in college, but like I haven't done anything in 3 years, so that's why they're a little slower out the gate.
It's not a bad theory. Because I don't think they're really recruiting guys who haven't played in 3 to 5 years. I think it's more guys who have recently graduated and weren't good enough, or maybe like a year or so ago, or maybe you've been playing in the Canadian League. So I don't think they're pulling dudes off their couch who've been sitting around for 5 years. But that's a good point for sure. That like it is definitely easier to be an offense. Get to where you need to be a little faster if you're already athletic,
Right,
Yeah,
like even if you're not playing professionally, you're probably playing basketball or like flag football, something that like you're using the same skills.
For sure.
Well, also, I guess offensive linemen that we see today are a little different than offensive linemen that we may have saw like 10 years ago because of the amount of zone running and because of how much spread is like incorporated, like how spread out the offenses are now.
Yeah, well,
They're
sorry.
tinier guys, or not by any means are they tiny, but I mean, instead of, a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, you got dudes all pushing like 330, up there. Now there's like offensive linemen playing tackle at like 280, 270. They're a little longer, lankier. They're just trying to
they're
get out
faster.
there, get on the edge. Like that's what the Bears are trying to do with their offensive line. Trying to get a little bit thinner, a little bit more athletic, so that they can move because of just how much the NFL is changing. So, I think.
Well, because the days of like just trying to maul the defense and run for 4 yards at a time are kind of over, and now it's all like we're gonna pass like a shitload of times a game. We better have some offensive linemen who can get out there and block those fast defensive ends, right?
Yeah, and now you've got you have like 6 offensive linemen sometimes that you're rolling with just to try to keep guys fresh.
Yeah. Really?
There's reserves that get more playing time now.
That's interesting, rotating in a sixth guy. I'm not sure the Buccaneers do that, but there's certainly like you do want to have a good sixth guy who can kind of play a lot of different positions to it. You can plug in. Cause
your life guy.
The Titans will roll with like multiple offensive linemen. Like they'll roll with like sometimes put in like 6, but obviously when you've got Derrick Henry back there, I mean, get as many offensive linemen as you can out there and just open up a little hole for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's wrap up here about the USFL. We pretty much had the New Jersey Generals.
Let's go!
They're now going to be... Actually, this is an older week. So week 8 we also didn't cover. But yes, the Jersey Generals beat the Maulers. Birmingham Stallions beat the Breakers. This is a really close game. And then you had the Stars kind of roll over the Panthers. I mean, the Michigan Panthers, right? Tampa Bay found themselves a win in week 8. Week 9 just happened the first round of it yesterday, so the Generals are still 8-1, dude. They are 25-23 over. You know who's the Michigan Panthers coach, Evan? Jeff Fisher.
The coach?
Jeff Fisher.
No, it's not.
It is, dude. And he sucks. Look at this dude. He's 1-8 in the USFL. It's like, come on, Jeff. What are we doing here?
He's just mimicking his NFL career. What are you talking about?
Well, if he was
mimicking exactly how that went.
He would at least be 5-8 by now, or 5-5 or something, or 8-8.
Oh yeah.
The dude's
he'd be 8-8.
He'd be like 4-4. But like, what's going on here, dude? You're 1-8, Jeff. Get it together. I like the guy. He came on Pat's show a couple times. He sounds really funny. He seems like a good dude. I don't know if he's just dealing with a really bad roster, maybe. But guys,
I think he lost touch a little bit.
Check this out. We got the Gamblers took out the Birmingham Stallions and handed them their first loss of the year. Can you believe it, Corey?
Wow. Fucking 2-7?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Those Gamblers haven't won like anything. They're like always gambling and always losing.
The Stallions just showed up hungover. Like, it's going to be fine. We got this. They suck.
I mean, looking back on their game against like the Breakers, they like won by 1 point and they scored 10 overall, and then they scored 15 against the Gamblers. So Evan says he watched this, and what happened? The Birmingham quarterback got injured. Is that what you're saying, Evan?
I'm sorry. I watched the Michigan Panthers. I think. Honestly, if I was watching that game, if Josh Love didn't get hurt, I think they won that game against the Generals. Huh. And the Generals scored twice off of some trick plays, which not saying that that's not something that you can incorporate into your offense, but it just seemed like it was going Michigan's way until Josh Love got hurt.
Interesting. Yeah, Michigan's definitely been catching some tough breaks. But we got some more games going on tonight. We got the Tampa Bay Bandits are going to take on the Breakers. We got the Stars and Pittsburgh Maulers. So the Stars have been hot lately. They've been on quite the roll, getting quite a few wins here these past few weeks. Let's see if they go ahead and continue to stack that momentum going into the playoffs here, because that is coming soon. Pretty much this is the last week. Yeah, no. So they got one more week after this. Correct? Yeah, one more week after this, and then it's playoffs, boys. So the USFL is also coming to an end. Our spring sports in general are starting to come to an end. Corey, are you worried we're not going to have content until the NFL kicks off, or have you already planned for this and have other leagues that we can cover?
Tons of plans. Lots of things in the pipeline. We can't tell you about it.
No, of course not.
Because if we tell you, then you would know, and that's illegal, and we'd have to send snow ninjas.
And you know what, Corey?
And you don't want to see the snow ninjas.
Nobody wants to see that. And also, this is an excellent time to bring up our second non-sponsor sponsor of the day. What do you got for us, Corey?
Well, I have something that I think every aging athlete needs in their lives, which is Tiger Balm.
Wow.
This was originally brought into my life as I was traveling through Spain in intense knee pain, and there was this strange Spaniard man who said he had traveled all the way to China and found this magical ointment that if I put in my knee, it wouldn't, suck just as much. And I was like, sure, bro, sure. And it turns out, yep, totally made my knee suck extremely less. Wow. So I then scoured the internet and found on the Amazons that they sell these 2 bottles for like $11.
Yeah.
Extremely effective for all injuries, joint pain, muscle pain. You just rub that shit on before or after a workout, and you're good to go.
Beautiful. Love to hear it.
Is that made with actual bits of tiger?
Yes, but you have to go skin them yourself.
Oh.
That
sounds like an adventure.
It's a process. You gotta go to China. You gotta fight a tiger with your bare hands, but then you get Tiger Balm and your knees don't hurt.
Right,
it's great.
After you kill the first tiger, can you just get the rest of it shipped to you, or do you have to go kill the tiger every time?
No, just the one tiger.
Oh, okay, all right, that's good. That's good clarification. That sounds more reasonable, right, Evan?
Yeah. I'm looking up how to defeat a tiger. It says stick your hand in the mouth, grab the tongue is the first step.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah. That definitely checks out.
See, what I did is I just let it gnaw on my arm as I just punched it in the throat a few times.
Oh.
That's nice of you.
How's your arm doing?
Fantastic.
Good. A little gangrene set in, but it's alright.
Yeah, a little bit of bacteria is in there. It's all fine. It's all under control.
It's all healthy, I think.
Doctor said there's nothing they can do. I've got hours left.
Hours, bro. Hours.
I'm glad you're here on the podcast with us for now, Corey. That's so splendid of you. Spend some time with us. Evan, do you have any lingering thoughts you want to say here on week 8/9 of the USFL as we move closer and closer to these playoffs?
No, but can we get these guys some tighter jerseys? I just feel like some of them look like they're
loose.
I guess. Yeah, have you seen the movie The Replacements?
Yeah.
Looks very similar to their jerseys at times. Get
wrong,
the big guys some tighter jerseys.
Yeah, fair enough. And tighter jerseys look cooler too, so I'm with you on that. Get the boys some tighter jerseys. So the Breakers
show off what you're working with.
Which I hope they don't, because they're taking on the Tampa Bay Bandits, and I'm still hoping the Bandits are going to sneak past into the semifinals. It could happen, although not likely.
I'm a big fan of Philadelphia's logo. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that logo.
Yeah, Stars is cool looking.
Their colors are toxic, bro. Have you seen their colors, though?
Yeah, I like it.
Their colors are pretty weird.
Oh my god.
You like it?
You do like pain.
Gross.
It looks like a gas station. It looks like a gas station in Texas.
It does! Holy shit, it looks like Sheets!
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking Sheets in Pennsylvania. That's what they were going for. They're like, us Philadelphians, we love this color scheme. We love our tiny burgers, the little sliders. This is going to be great.
I like tiny burgers. What's wrong with tiny burgers?
Yeah.
No, they're great, but
whoa, hold on. Tiny burgers suck, dude. If you're gonna do
tiny burgers is the first thing I think of when I think of Sheets. So I think that's where but they're doing their color scheme off of. It makes sense now.
Sliders are nonsense. It's like, just go have some bread, you weirdo. Like, what are we doing here?
Almost even swapped his stance from I love those to I hate them.
No, I never said I love those. That was Evan who said you liked them.
Oh. Well, fair enough.
I briefly agreed with Evan, and then I realized what I was agreeing to, and I don't want to sign this contract.
I'm not down.
Anyway, boys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, but I did want to say real quick, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to their third, and I say third, Stanley Cup final in 3 years, boys. This is historic shit. I'm not sure any other sports franchise is going to their third fucking in a row championship. So pretty impressive for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Real drop ball by the New York Rangers, who were up 2-0 in that series, and then lost 4 in a row. Losers!
Oh, that
No,
makes sense.
shout out to New York. Actually, they surprised a lot of people. Some people thought they weren't even going to make the playoffs. So they had a good run. Made it nice and deep. But man, they had a tough time in this game 6 against Vologowski. I can't pronounce the dude's last name, but he's a legend. Just absolutely shut them out. And you know what? The Rangers goalie played really well too. Like, he really gave them a fighting chance, but they just could not make it happen. Tampa Bay was all over them in that last game. You know what's funny is that, like, Rupper or something like that was talking about this on Pat McAfee show, that like it's kind of on this New York crowd a little bit. They got a little cocky. Like at the end of that game too, the crowd was like chanting "Eeyore's better," and that's their goalie. Because the thing is, the Tampa Bay Lightning goalie is probably going to be a Hall of Famer apparently. So to be chanting that at the end of game 2 when they won, it's just like you're poking the bear, dude. What are you guys doing? Came out and fucking Tampa Bay wins 4 games in a row. Like, Vasilevsky just plays out of his mind and shuts out New York like most of the series. Like, no,
New Yorkers being cocky and fucking something up for themselves? That never happens.
He's like, dude, as a player, you don't want that. As a player, you're like, no, stop it. Stop trying to piss this guy off.
I was going to say that same thing. New York having obscene fans that are causing chaos for their teams? Get out of here. It's like
what?
Spike Lee.
I don't believe it.
It's like Spike Lee to Reggie Miller in the conference finals.
But anyway, guys, so now I don't know who that is. Call it Reggie Miller.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was basketball. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up a non-contact sport.
We don't talk about that here. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, only like elbows to the face.
Hey, you want to talk about fighting? There was a UFC change in the UFC championship last night.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Glover Teixeira lost to Yuri. I don't remember his name. Lost via rear naked choke in the 5th round.
Wow. What division is that?
It's kind of, where you get somebody's back and you
I
know
that. I mean, what weight class are they?
Oh, division.
Yeah,
division. I thought you said submission. Oh, light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
Glover Teixeira won the belt against Jan Blachowicz, and I think he defended it once.
Nice.
But yeah, he just lost it to the upcoming guy who's, I think he's 28 and Glover is almost 40.
Oh shit. So this is probably the last we'll see of Glover as a champion, maybe. Who knows? I don't even know who that guy is. He'll probably
more than likely, it's probably his last go around as champion.
Well, either way, that's interesting. I'm glad you threw that out there. What else happened in that event? Anything else?
I did not see who won between Joanna and Ye Wing. I'm not prepared for this, but
that's okay. Well, I did want to say one that we got the Colorado Avalanche going against Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the Colorado Avalanche are arguably one of the better teams in the NHL the whole season, and now they're here taking on the back-to-back champions. So this is a heck of a playoff of a final series we're going to see here. Who do you got, Corey? Colorado Avalanche versus the Tampa Bay Lightning final series.
I mean, gotta go Tampa Bay now that the Rangers are out.
Let's go, baby. What do you got, Evan?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay, even though I would like to see the Avalanche win, just because I played with them on NHL hits. That's all I want.
Well, hopefully we'll see Tampa Bay get a three-peat, a hat trick, if you will. It's exciting times. Before we sign out of here, Evan, would you like to give us our last non-sponsor sponsor of the evening?
Oh, yes. Let me see what I have here. I have McDonald's Coca-Cola.
Perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Are we going for McDonald's or Coca-Cola?
We're going with McDonald's, only their soft drinks, though.
Okay.
Is there any fast food chain that has a better Coca-Cola? No, I don't think so. Nobody has a crispier Sprite or a crispier Coca-Cola. So if you're thirsty, stop into your local McDonald's today.
Wow, that's a good read. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I have heard legends about the McDonald's Coca-Cola. It being quite
I do I do fuck with McDonald's and their soft drinks.
Yeah, best soft drinks around.
Arguably better than bottle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I agree.
Interesting.
I agree.
Well, boys, this has been an absolute pleasure, and thank you to the audience for joining us here on Sports by Compian.